So there's been a lot of criticism recently about vegan revolution. Niggas, please.
This is a world.
This is a world premiere.
This is a world.
So one of the main criticisms against vegan revolution is that he has failed to embrace ideas about structural racism and solely seems to focus on the animal food industry and its impact on the planet. The first thing that I want to make clear is that when we're talking about structural racism and we're talking about the animal food industry, we're actually talking about the same things. They're both just two representations, two instances of the dominant cultural mode. When I talk about the dominant cultural mode, I'm talking about the process through which dominance is maintained through the perpetuation of violence and a preoccupation with death, wherein sentient beings are transformed into objects and used as commodities. Now, it's understandable that the average person might look at the situation that people of color are in, the situation that women are in, the situation that people who live in poor countries around the world are in, and compare them to the object, the concrete violence that animals are subjected to as part of the industrialized food system. Now, the way I see it, there are two failings here. One is a lack of understanding of the way systems of violence function, and another is a lack of empathy for those who experience those systems of violence in action. Imagine, if you will, you're in a room with 10 other people and there's no way out, and someone sticks in a gun and shoots one of you. Sometime later, you don't know how long, that window indeed opens again and another one of the remaining 9 people is shot down. So from that moment forward, it really doesn't matter if that window opens again and another person is shot. The remaining 8 people know that there is the potential that that window might open at any time and any one of the remaining 8 might be a victim. And that is the way that structural violence works. It doesn't necessarily happen all the time, but those people who live under the threat of it are aware that it might happen at any time. So when a 15-year-old kid is playing in the park and randomly shot down by the police, or a young woman has her car break down and knocks on someone's door for help and is then shot in the face, and there's no legal recourse for either one of those people. And this happens perhaps only occasionally, but it happens. And that group that is the target of that kind of violence begins to understand that it might happen to any one of them at any time without legal recourse and in a way that is acceptable to most of the other people in their society. So this is how using the word nigger or other ways of reminding people of their identity within a violent system can be perceived as violence. Vegan revolution is actually doing a great job of maintaining that system of violence and making sure that Black people, that women, that poor people understand their place within that violent system. And also, vegan revolution is succeeding at reinforcing that dominant cultural mode. He's supporting that dominant cultural mode, which makes it possible for animals to continue to suffer as part of the industrial food system. Another way that vegan revolution is succeeding is that he is demonstrated that even someone who is committed to seeing the reduction of violence in the world might have internalized their role as part of a dominant culture and a dominant cultural mode. So vegan revolution, I think you should just keep doing what you're doing, reminding the rest of us of how insidious this system of violence and oppression is and how pervasive it is in our society, and the importance of the intersectional analysis that we do to combat it. You go on, my nigga. So that's it for this video. Like it if you like it, and of course subscribe. This is Reg signing off. Love yourself. Peace.